Alright, what's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at Litecoin, LTC, against USDT. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be looking for the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in a very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you bullish on price action? Do you believe we finally found support? Are we likely to rally through all this overhead resistance, get back to the $300, $400 that we came from in the not so distant past? Or are you bearish on price action? Do you believe there's more downside ahead? We've yet to find support. We're going to plow through all of these key levels, hit straight to zero. Let me know your thoughts on the direction of Litecoin down in the comment section below. Now, jumping right into it, to kind of recap, price action that has been in a very, very bullish uptrend since sort of key phases of accumulation. I do believe around sort of like September and October of 2020, we have price action rallying, upward through resistance and then downward toward it as support for, several months, all the way when we get up to this very critical $116 level per Litecoin. We seem to have rallied toward it, interacted with it as resistance, plowed through it, came back to it as support, rallied well away from it, all the way up to the $300, $400 level, and now we've returned to this critical $116 that we haven't seen since, I guess the last time we saw it was sort of the 27th of January of this year. So price action in a very kind of critical state at the moment, currently trapped between potential support near $116 and a significant overhead resistance around $177. That is definitely going to be a level waiting to slap us around a bit once we get up there. Price action currently in a very bullish bounce off of a sort of key level just below my support line here, but I do believe $116 is going to be the key level to keep in mind in the kind of next few days here, depending on just how short term bullish or bearish we can be in what appears to be the beginning of a retracement in sort of this recovery. Very bullish bounce off of support. We've had a very vertical kind of couple weeks. Price action is currently interacting with a little bit of resistance here near the psychological $150 round level. I do believe all round levels are going to be little points of support and resistance kind of moving forward. At the moment, we will just have to see how much sell pressure is currently present and just how far back this support can be found. Now, lots going on for Litecoin against USDT, but if we consider EngineeringRobo, in addition to the Fibonacci levels of Lamborghinis, Illuminatis, Bugattis, and bikinis, we can see brand new perspective coming into play here. We have that buy for closing on price action with the 26th of July candle there. I'm bullish now to get that buy for to print. We've had that sell for, plaguing price action since the 16th of May, saving us from the dreaded 19th of May there. So EngineeringRobo becoming bullish on Litecoin is going to be very bullish sign of buy pressure present at the moment. Technical signs of sell pressure is going to be price action below this 200 daily moving average. That is going to give us a hard time. The underside of it is going to be where increased sell pressure is present, and that will give us a hard time moving forward. We will likely have to rally through it and then come back to it as support, wherever that might be, to kind of confirm the uptrend in a sort of like mid to longer term perspective. Right now, price action still currently trapped sideways. I do believe the Fibonacci levels that are currently supporting my key levels here is going to be the 0.236 fettuccine line near my $116 level, suggesting very significant support at that range. If we are bearish enough to pull all the way back down to it, that will be a very key area to find support and would further solidify a perhaps healthy bottom near these levels for Litecoin, and we are likely to see the uptrend continue moving forward. However, say we plow through this little bit of resistance that we're currently interacting with and we find our way above it, that 0.382 Fibonacci level at $172, just under my $177 resistance level, supports significant sell pressure at that range. So that will give us a hard time moving forward, and that is currently just below the 200 daily moving average. So there will be increased sell pressure ahead of us once we kind of find where we can find support here. So price action currently in the middle of a little bit of exhaustion, currently interacting with some mild sell pressure, currently causing what appears to be the beginning of a retracement in what could be an uptrend. Price action has been very bullish all throughout this few months of downside and consolidation downward towards support. Price action does look like it is wanting to bottom out, wants to find support, and it wants to get back to the levels that it kind of just came from. So far, we're seeing more bullish signs than we have been in the kind of past few months here. currently. I'm looking for a pullback, which could be presenting itself pretty soon here. We'll have to see how the next kind of coming days unfold before we can determine the significance of this potential bottom for Litecoin against USDT. Lots going on, very volatile price action. But if we consider Litecoin against Bitcoin, a new perspective comes into play. We have price action interacting in this very key zone of accumulation. I do believe this is a very bullish area of support, a wide range of support that we found. Price action consolidating is under resistance found at 37.27 Satoshi, and support near the kind of bottom of this Fibonacci range, which is all the way down at 32.41 Satoshi. So we are in a very huge range of potential support here, and there is wiggle room both up and down for us to still be, considering while the significance of support is at this range. Price action was found being bought up, a lot of buy pressure throughout all of February of this year. The beginning of February to the beginning of April of this year, we had price action, find support along this range. So for the next kind of coming days and weeks here, we'll have to see just how bullish we can be interacting with this range again. As once support was found, kind of where we are currently, we saw the euphoric highs near sort of like 69 Satoshi there. Then an abrupt change momentum, send price action plummeting down to kind of where we came from, below that 200 daily moving average. Currently, we are now returning to that aforementioned wide range of support. So currently, EngineeringRobo still bearish. We have that sell pressure plaguing price action. Against the price of Bitcoin, this does suggest some perhaps sideways or downside against the price of Bitcoin. We could see some more attempts at support present themselves as Bitcoin fluctuates in price. Right now, we can be a tad more short-term bearish on Litecoin against the price of Bitcoin due to the kind of current signs present. Significant resistance ahead at 37.27 Satoshi. Like I mentioned, we will have to see kind of just how this bullish range of support carries out. There's lots of wiggle room up and down for us to still be determining this potential bottom. There will be significant resistance ahead. Currently, the underside of the 200 daily moving average is going to be near that 0.618 Fibonacci level, suggesting significant resistance at 42.79 Satoshi. I suspect the 200 daily moving average will sort of come down toward price action over the course of time, but wherever that is will be suggesting significant sell pressure. So lots going on for Litecoin against the price of Bitcoin at the moment, currently interacting with technical support, but there are still a lot of high technical reasons to be perhaps very short-term bearish at the moment. Mid-term to long-term, I'm still quite bullish on Litecoin, especially against USDT. We are seeming very bullish than we have been over the past couple months here, and price action does want to find a bottom. Can we find support along this zone here, get back above 37.27 Satoshi, and then perhaps confirm that as support? That would be a definite sign of a healthy kind of bottom here, and would suggest prolonged upside against the price of Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, we switch to Bitcoin against USDT. What do we have here? Price action currently interacting with resistance and sell pressure. This is 0.618 Fibonacci line at $41,500 per Bitcoin. I've been suggesting is going to be a key level of resistance that will potentially slap us all the way back down to wherever we come from, whenever we did come from it. The more bearish we got as we consolidated toward, this key level at 32K, we were closing under it, seeing resistance under it. We were getting more and more short-term bearish. I was suggesting, a potential for price action could reach down toward, this 0.382 Fibonacci line, 27K, as going to be a bullish level of support that I suggested was not impossible. But big old but, I was slapped right out of the pants by being, even a little bit bearish on Bitcoin. We bounced in a very vertical manner, recovered very bullishly, recovered from all this downside in the past few months in literally a matter of, days to a couple weeks here. Currently interacting with this very significant sell pressure, the 0.618 Fibonacci line. We have examples of price action kind of near the 15th of June, exhausting before it gets near it and getting slapped all the way back down to the 0.5 and even the 32K level. The 0.5 Fibonacci line at $34,318 per Bitcoin is my target for this retracement. Say the sell pressure is too significant at the 0.618 line, and we fail to hold near kind of where we are currently. Price action is experiencing some buy pressure at 38K, it would appear, although we will have to see just how bullish that support is or how significant the sell pressure is off the 0.618 to see kind of how this plays out. I suspect, my bullish sort of target in the downside for this retracement here is going to be all the way back down at the 0.5 fettuccine line, $34,300 per Bitcoin. I do believe is going to be a great level to accumulate for this, this newly perhaps found uptrend that we might have just started. Bitcoin has wanted to be bullish all throughout this downside. There's been very, very high buy pressure through all this technical sell pressure. We've had a very vertical run up to the levels that we've kind of just came from. So a pullback such as this, I do believe, was very healthy in the trend in the long term. Retracements and consolidation is very much necessary for the uptrend to continue. Now, price action supported by that buy 4. We've got, a lot of signs of being bullish in the short term. Very vertical recovery, very aggressive upside just after some prolonged downside. So there's lots going on with Bitcoin at the moment. Technically, in my opinion, still sideways. I can get more bullish on Bitcoin once we start closing above, I do believe, that $41,500 level, that 0.618 fettuccine line. Once that becomes support, I can become far more bullish on Bitcoin, and that would definitely suggest that the uptrend is likely to continue. Right now, like I said, we are still sideways, so there is definitely room for some downside to still be bullish, and there's room for upside to still be bearish. So that's kind of our problem with sideways. Technical reasons to be bullish. We have that buy 4 with EngineeringRobo. Lots of buy pressure at 32K. Lots of fundamental buy pressure for Bitcoin in general. It's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin, only better. Reasons to be bearish. There's technical downside. Still might be ahead. More attempts at support might be necessary. Sell pressure is still present. We are still below the 200 daily moving average. So there definitely are reasons to be fearful, uncertain, and doubtful of the direction of Bitcoin in the very near future here. Now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with the link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Let me know in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Have you been buying the dips, accumulating in these lows? Are you bullish on price action? Do you think there's all-time highs in 6 figures ahead? Or are you bearish? Is this merely just a bull trap, a fake out upward? Is there more downside? Are we going to plummet through all this support, head straight back to zero? What are your thoughts on the direction of price action moving forward? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.